Hey everyone, it's Jonna, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I'm just going to work in my folder again. But first, I wanted to show some happy mail that I got from Dede Willingham. She's here on YouTube, and she has been, well, first she watched my stream about how I didn't have any pink flowers, so she sent me some pink flowers, and then I got some more happy mail from her this week, and it's been in quarantine, so I just opened it and I wanted to share some of the things that she sent me, and I want to incorporate them into my folder and also into one of my TNs. So because she sent me some TN insert like pages to get started. So this is what came. And these are the pages that she sent from some scrapbook paper that she had, because I loved the lemon. But the lemon, oh my gosh, I love the lemon, but then I love all the daisies, and I didn't see the rest of this paper line. The gingham, the hearts. I'm like so giddy. I love this, and especially with the gold accents, love it. So I pulled this fabric dory that I have, and it's standard size, a little bit wider, but I love the colors with the daisy. So I'm gonna just assemble this really quickly and slide it into there. And then she sent me the other day, because I was working at a page in my folder. She sent me, let me pull this stuff out of it. I was on here with you guys live, and I was working on this page, but I didn't have any pink flowers. So she sent me a bunch of stuff that had pink flowers on it. Well, first of all, I think the girl is just so cute. So I'm definitely going to incorporate her. Maybe what I'm going to do is, she would be so cute, like she's bending over smelling this flower. I did have another plan for that flower, so maybe I'll just put her on this page. That would look really cute. So I'm going to put her there. And then, and I don't know if that's what she had planned. I have no idea. So then she sent me these, which I am going to cut them out and put them around. So these are perfect, Dede. Thank you. Thank you for the little sticky note. She is queen of the sticky note. I heard my phone go off, but I don't know what happened to my phone. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to cut these out and definitely use these on this page. So she sent me a lot. Look how cute she is. I mean, this big old flower. And I like her. So maybe I'm going to do like, I know you can't see this because it's bigger than what my crafting area is, but I might do her. Oh, won't she look cute with a flower on her head? I might do her over there on that insert, and then it'll all be like the same colorway, very cohesive. So I'm going to come back to this. Come back to this. I'm going to set that aside. And then she sent me some cool stuff, some wrapping paper. I love working with wrapping paper. Sunflowers and different flowers. So these are going to be fun to work with. And then some jumbo activity color. How many words can you make from these letters? Oh my gosh. Okay. That'll be for a rainy day. Some flowers that I get to color in. Florals. These look like fun. Definitely going to incorporate these. So I'm thinking, did you trace this on the paper? Because I see pencil on there. And then I'm seeing pencil on there. Is that so? Did you trace on the back on that side and then rub it? Anyway, those will be fun. Okay, so that's fun. And then this is really cute vintage little September calendar with peas. That'll be fun to use too. So I'm gonna set that aside and I'm gonna get this set up first. So I'm totally cheating on this one because, hello Neon Park, how are you? Because I have this, like, I got this in Australia at a Japanese store. And so I can make, it's in place of a long-handled stapler. So I'm going to put together an insert. So I've been in here talking, but Dede Willingham sent me some Happy Mail. And I wanted to set up some inserts for my traveler's notebook. So that's kind of what I'm doing. How are you doing? Are you doing any art? So I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to do an insert with the lemons. I have to spread them all out and see what my options are. Okay, so maybe what I'll do is I'm going to do the lemons, like, I'm going to do this in the lemons. I'm going to put this in the daisies, that in the more the flowers, I think. In the daisies, and I'll do the hearts and the flowers and the flowers. Or do I want to do like every other, maybe a flower every other? I hope she didn't have these stacked in a situation. Like, I think what I'm going to do, though, I wonder if I did every other one in and then one like that. That would give me one solid white page if I did every other. Like one that way, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay. Then that one's solid, so that one's going to be white. And then this one's going to go back this way. That way I have a whole page of white, and then I have decorative paper. So that's how I'm going to set mine up. We have white. Okay, so how many pages is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you're watching from Japan? That is so cool. I've never been to Japan. I wanted to go to Japan when I was in Australia, and I just never made it there. So Japan is on my bucket list. I will, when I go back to Australia, I'm definitely going to go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What kind of art do you like to do? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's my insert, and it doesn't bother me that there's like this little waterfall hangover thing because I end up making it super chunky anyway. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take this, a little handy dandy tool. Oh wait, I should probably do it from this side. And I'm just gonna, where are the holes on that? Do they sit back? No, it's pretty even. Look. Okay. And I'll do this one. This is like the bomb. Stapler. Oh my gosh. So much easier. Okay. So there's one. Put that in here. And then let me do the other one. So I got lemons. And I don't know what paper line this is from. I think she got it at Michael's here in the US. Okay, and then there's two. And I think I'm going to use these. I think I'm going to end up using it more like, I don't know how I'm going to use this yet. If I want to do like daily journal, maybe memory keeping on those, and then this I do my journaling on. It's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm not doing a whole lot of memory keeping these days since we have stay-at-home orders in my city. So there's not like a whole lot to really journal about, unfortunately. Is this a little longer? No. Okay, then. So I'm not doing a whole lot of journaling. I'm doing like past journaling. Does that make sense? Like I'm getting caught up. And there's my second one. This paper makes me so happy just to look at it. So, okay, now my dog is whining. This is like the bewitching hour. I should not stream at this hour because every time I come in here, he could sleep all day long. I get on here and then he wants my attention. He's like a child, even though he's 15. So that's going to be so cute. Maybe I will journal. I ordered a tree, an avocado tree. This will look cute in this one. From online that hasn't gotten here yet. So maybe I will journal about the avocado, my avocado tree in here. Okay, that is that one. Let's see. And I'll work on my folder. So we were working, I've been working in this folder. Some of the ladies on YouTube have been working in folders, and so my last video I did this. I just added some little paint spots to that. Oh, you like making junk journals? Do you make junk journals, or you just watch people make them? So we have a whole group of us that are working in file folders, and this is a file folder that I found. I have like a bunch of them. And so it had like these expanding things. And so then I added my pages to it. And then, so let me pull all my stuff out. And I'm kind of working through, I sell like junk journal kits. And so I had a kit that I pulled, and I've just been working in that kit. And then my friend sent me some flowers because I was working on this page and I wanted to add flowers to the page and I didn't have enough. So she so kindly sent me these. And so I'm going to add these into the bottom of this page. Do you make them, or are you just like watching people make them? And what time is it? And I guess you can speak English because you understand me. So that's kind of cool. Because I actually speak and understand no Japanese whatsoever. But I've always wanted to visit there. So if I go visit there and I don't speak any Japanese, will I be able to get around okay? Or should I be taking lessons before I go there? Because I went to Italy and I studied Italian for a while before I went over. I think I'm going to get that dark spot out of there and just keep it white, so that I could kind of converse and didn't have to rely on others speaking English, because I feel like if you kind of try, even if you don't do it the right way, I think it shows respect for the country that you're going to visit and their culture. I don't know how much of this I'm going to need, but I'm just going to go ahead and fussy cut it out. Hey, Dwede. Oh, I just kind of started. I've been talking to Neon Park, who is watching from Japan. She likes to watch Making Junk Journals, but I was asking her, did you walk your cats? Do you walk your cats on a leash? Or you just let them roam around outside? So I already kind of decided how I was going to use the bits that you sent me. I'm excited. I'm going to have like a hole because I added this little flap. I had this envelope came in and I liked that was open. And then I wanted to add this flower in because I found okay, so anyway, so I added the envelope. This opens up, and then you can see the lady with the umbrella on the inside. I kind of like that. Oh, you walk them on a leash. And then I'm just going to use all of your goodies in here. I'm thinking about adding that to the top of her head and then putting her in here, I think, and maybe adding, I don't know. We'll get to that later. Did this come out of the Jane Davenport book? Did you get your? Yes, I already put it together. That's what you missed. Let me see. And I added it to this. I have this journal that I made. And so I already put them together. And I love this paper. Oh my gosh, love it. But what I do is I left myself a whole white space. And then so I turned some of them inside out. And then that way I had, because I decided I ordered an avocado tree online. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of my avocado tree in here. So I'll like memory keep here and then journal about it. And hopefully my avocado tree will last long enough to make it through there. It's sent to me. It's like 2 feet tall, and hopefully it'll arrive this week. So this is going to be my avocado tree journey since I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. So anyway, and I don't really have anything to journal about. Yeah. Because, however, oh my gosh. Okay, so yesterday I ended up oh, thanks, Neon. Yesterday I ended up going out into my kitchen and the floor was wet and I'm like, what in the world? Of course, I don't have any flooring yet, so that's good. And because I don't have any flooring, they haven't put in the baseboards or anything. And the drywall doesn't touch the floor, so that's really good. But my air conditioning's leaking. And so I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Anyway, I turned the air off. I flushed some bleach through and ended up it ended up going through the pipe. The pipe was clogged. The filter, which I just changed 3 weeks ago, was totally black. And then, so anyway, when I put the bleach and the hot water through it, it went ahead and unclogged it. But I got to find out what's going on. What's going on there with that situation. See, these look great. I think what I'm going to do is maybe add a piece up there. Yeah, so I didn't have the air, so I was dealing with that yesterday, and then after I flushed it, then I waited about 5 hours, and then last night I turned it back on and waited, and nothing came back out. Like no water was leaking anymore, so I think there was some kind of clog in the pipe, but I'm trying to figure out why, because most air conditioners have like a tripwire. Well, mine has a tripwire, but I don't understand why it wouldn't have kicked in and the water went back down into the air conditioning unit. So I've got to call and have somebody come out and look at that, which you know how that goes. So that is where I'm at right now. See, are these a little smaller? That being said, ooh, I don't want to work. This must have been a beautiful calendar because the pictures are gorgeous. But so I'm kind of glad that I didn't have my floors aren't in yet, because they would just be wet. That would be awful. And they'd have to be probably taken up. So that was kind of a blessing. In the meantime, I've been totally decluttering and organizing. I'm kind of excited about that part. Ooh, that must have been a pretty calendar. I found more glue sticks, so I was kind of excited about that. Because I was down to my last glue stick. I did find this one too in my stuff, but I don't know that have you ever used the dilution glue stick before? It's very soft. So I don't know that I don't know that I'm going to like that. But it was in the stash, so I'm using it up. But anyway, I appreciate the flowers. Thank you. Got to finish the page. Because I had like none that matched. Oh yeah, I'm gonna use that one. Well, I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, well, it doesn't dry right away. That's good. Gives you a little work time. I don't know why when I see this page, I think of that song Aquarius. I don't know. It comes to my head. Oops. Alrighty. Then I wanted to add in put that back in there. I had this girl in my stuff. There she is. I wanted to put her up on the flower. Because she just makes me happy. And I am getting rid of, oh my gosh, so much crafting stuff is going out the door when all this is over. I went through all my, like I divided everything up. So I have 2 of the Raskog carts, but I don't have them here. They're in hostage. They're being held hostage. So I don't have them, but I never cared for them because I could never get to the things on the 2nd and 3rd shelf. I don't know why. It just felt like it was crammed. You kind of had to reach in and pull. It wasn't like, I don't know. It just wasn't. And it seemed like it was never big enough, and I had stuff stacked on top of stuff. So Michael's has where you can go pick stuff up still, and they were having a sale online. So I grabbed their extended cart. It's the one that's longer. It's not the $29.99 one that's like the IKEA cart. Oh, she's just a little too tall. Do I put her in the middle like she's sitting? Oh, I kind of like that. But yeah, I like that. It's like she's sitting in the middle of the flower. Oh, I like that word, simple. And so anyway, so I went through all my craft stuff and divided it up into what I use and how I craft. Because normally, okay, I've been doing the Danny Gregory. You'd be so proud of me. I've been doing the Danny Gregory sketching thing, and I pulled back out Art Before Breakfast, which I never did do. I got to like the 3rd page. So I pulled that out for the umpteenth time. And then, so I've been sketching every morning, and I usually do it with my coffee, and I sit out on my patio because it's really nice in the morning, and I have a big table out there. So I ended up putting all my, and I do my Bible journaling out there because it's all something I just do in the morning all together. So I ended up filling that cart with like things that I would do Bible journaling with and my sketchbook stuff, like all my watercolors and things like that. Then it got me thinking about, okay, what do you actually do and where do you do it? And then, because I don't have like a craft room right now set up. I know, we were supposed to do that together. Well, we started doing it. I did the pair too. I did a pair with you. So I'm back at it again. But anyway, and so then I started thinking about, okay, where do I do my crafting? Where do I do my crafting and what craft do I do? So at night, I have been crocheting and watching like, you know, something on the TV, which I don't watch a lot of TV, but there's a couple shows that I do enjoy. I like watching The Voice, and I watch a show on Thursdays called Young Sheldon. And then I watch Tuesday night, I watch, of course, Oak Island. And then I was watching The Good Doctor, which is over. And then what else I watch? That's it. I've been watching the Tell It's in My Heart, the singing love song, the singing thing from The Bachelor. Anyway, I watched the first one. So I guess I'll finish watching that. But anyway, and so when I'm doing that, I crochet. Or I started to get into doing, there's a lady online, I don't know her name. She is on, she's doing like a slow stitch series. And I'm joining late in the game, but I went ahead and I pulled all my slow stitching supplies together. So and that's something I would do while I was watching TV. So I have all my slow stitch stuff and my crochet. I've got two. I have this basket. It's so stinking cute. I don't know if I can fit it. Let me get it. I don't know if I can fit it in underneath the camera. Oh, maybe. But anyway, my sister Melody sent me this, and I haven't used it. It's got some holes because it's like from the 60s. So I may have to put like some daisy appliques or something over it. But anyway, so I had this, so I went and it was out in the garage. So I pulled it out and then I went through like things that I had in the garage and started to pull like slow stitching stuff. So I had like all these old vintage, because I bought an old sewing seat, like it's the ones that used to, when the sewing machine was in like a table and then they had a little stool that you'd sit on. Well, the top opens up and in there people would store all their like sewing goodies. So the stool was full of old stuff in it from whoever owned it. And I didn't need the stool because it was too low for my sewing machine. So JJ ended up getting the stool from me, and she loves it. And but I kept all the stuff that was in it. And so anyway, so I went through that, and there was needles in there. There were some little pearl beads and different things. And then there was all this like darning string, which is kind of cool. So I grabbed that. And then I had some of my grandmother's thread. So I went through her thread and I pulled I think it's like coat. Oh, it's like button and carpet thread. So it's a little on the shiny side and a little bit thicker. And yeah, I don't know why that's in there. That's just regular thread. But anyway, so I put that in there. And then there was like some pearls, and she had kept like her little pearls in tic tac things. I thought that was so cute. So I put that in there. And then I had this. I don't even know what this is from. So I threw that in there. And then there's some of these old buttons, which these are genuine pearl buttons. So look how tiny these little pearl buttons are. So those are ocean pearl buttons. So anyway, I just pulled the pearl buttons out that I saw. Hi, Mary Beth. So, okay, I'm totally taking a rabbit trail. I'm talking about slow stitching. So I'm putting this in my bedroom where, you know, I'm watching TV currently. And so, on my computer. And so anyway, but I'm doing this, I want to do this I'm taking this slow stitch class online. It's free. If I find out who it is, when I find her, I'll do the link below. So, and then I have so then I pulled, so she had the first video, she is gathering her supplies. So I went through like a lot of my vintage things, and I found like this fabric. So I thought, oh, this would be really pretty. I think I'm going to use this as my color palette. And I got this from my friend who she was my roommate in college, and she lives in, hi, Artful Dabbler. She lives in Indonesia. She's Indonesian. So when she went home on Christmas break, she brought me a bunch of fabric from Indonesia from her seamstress. So I had this, and I had been wanting to use it, and I love this color palette. So I started to pull from everything, like just like blues, and then you put this wadding, she calls it, or like a backing behind it, and you work in like a long strip. And then once you have it all put together, then you wind it around a bobbin. And I picked these bobbins up, these wood bobbins. I think they were like $1 or something like that. From some people from Brimfield. They came down for the flea market over in Mount Dora that I go to. And so I just picked them up because I thought they were cool. I didn't ever know how I was going to use them. And then when she showed how to do the slow stitch and you wind it around these wooden bobbins, I was like, well, yay. Now I know how I can use these things. I just picked them up. So anyway, yeah. So you use batting, and then I started to just pull. This is some fabric from Indonesia. And then, so I had little scraps from her. This fabric I got with my sister at a flea market. It's Australian. It's like an indigenous fabric from there. It has really pretty birds that are watercolored on there. So this was like an indigenous type of, is that what it's called? Indigenous, I think she called it, type of fabric or pattern. But look how perfect I thought this went. So I got the Indonesian fabric, and then I have the Australian fabric that just like, oh. So I'm really excited about that. Hi, Crafty as Shabby Shack Jude. I guess I'm going to call you Jude. Welcome. Glad you're here. So anyway, so that's my color palette. And then what you do is you wind it around once. Well, she drilled holes, and then you hang it from like a rope or something, and then you have it like a wall hanging. So I don't know what I'm actually going to do with it. I'm thinking about making maybe a journal topper, like to put on the front of a journal or something. I don't know. And then I have this from Indonesia, so that went. Then my mom had sent me some bits and pieces I cut up. So I've got like linens, Irish linen. I have this, because this had that rust color with the green. That was from Indonesia, some lace. I got some chiffon, because it's nice that like take the chiffon to mute a color down or a pattern down. Yes. Oh, are you in the same class? Are you in the same class, Jude? That's so cool. But I'm like behind. I just found her like last week. So now I had to go run around and gather everything up. Had that. But anyway, and I'm even throwing in some bits of Tim Holtz fabric. And so anyway, some black linen. I had some more Indonesian fabric from my friend. Some linen. I'm not adding the sheet fabric in. I don't know why that was in the pile. And then I've got different laces, doilies, and stuff like that. So that's my fabric. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't know you were doing it. So anyway, I'm on a side, I'm on a rabbit trail and just sharing I was talking about organizing and how I wanted to get everything organized. Like I'm culling down all of so I have all different kinds of threads. I'm culling down all of my craft supplies into how I've been crafting. And so what I did was I just gathered up, like, this is all my slow stitch stuff. So I have about a little jar of I had this. Okay, so in the sewing box that I bought had all these little jars that she had put in her little button stash. And so I went through the buttons and pulled out the ones I like, the glass and the pearl ones. I don't even know what's in here. These are needles. And then I was really excited because I didn't have any pins, and this was in there. So there were the whole box of these silk dressmaker pins, and they're shorter. So it's great for doing the slow stitching. So I was pretty psyched about having that in there. And then there was this little kit, vintage sewing kit that had different threads and the scissors and stuff like that. So that's kind of my box that I have. Thanks, Dede. So anyway, that was my rabbit trail, my slow stitch rabbit trail. So this going in my room. I have another box that this will sit on top of that has all my crocheting stuff in it. And then that's taking it out of my craft room where I never do it anyway. So I took the cart and I figure I do everything I do when I art out on my patio, I put in the cart, and that way I can store it in my craft room if I want, or right now it's stored by the door that goes out onto my porch, and now you just wheel it out there. Everything fits like all on one, like on the shelf, and I don't have to like dig, because I am not a stacker. I don't like things stacked where I have to pull one thing off to get to the item underneath it. I cannot stand it. So then I found out if I store things like that, one, I'll never use them, and two, they'll never go back. I know, right? It's so 70s. My sister Melody sent that to me like for my birthday one year. And I just kept throwing stuff in it, and I never actually ever use it. So now I have a purpose for it. So I'm kind of excited. And so anyway, yeah, that's been my thought process. What I usually do here it's sitting at my desk in the temporary craft room has been like working on my folder. I do my planning in here. I work on my Harmony handbook. And I work on my journal. So I do more of my mixed media art in here. So anything that is more like collaging, yeah, I end up doing in the craft room. So I left all that stuff here, and then I narrowed it all down to, which I can't put up on the desk because it's too big, but I narrowed all of my mixed media stuff down to one wheelie bag. Remember back in scrapbooking days where when we went to crops, we would have the 12 by 12 wheelie cart. So I had one of those. It was sitting out in the garage, so I was going to throw it in the yard sale, but now I had this epiphany of how I want to not have necessarily a craft room anymore. I'm getting rid of everything pretty much other than stuff I use, and it's narrowing down what I do. And so a lot of the things I find I don't do anymore that I had a lot of is my scrapbooking stuff. I do absolutely no scrapbooking. Yeah, I got it. I'm getting it down to one. Well, wait a minute. One cart, and then the cart has this thing, which I haven't cleaned out yet. So the cart has this thing that sits up on top of it. And this was all left over. I had gone to like a mixed media retreat. So I had like, this just has stuff in it. I need to go through it. I don't even know actually what's all in there. There's like some plain like black and white washies and masking tapes that I found. I didn't even know I had this, like mushroom nature washi. So it's been kind of cool because I've been like rediscovering stuff I didn't even know I had in here. But anyway, so I'm going to go through this, and what I'll do is I'm going to do probably some kind of file folder system in here that has my collage stuff in it. Okay. So anyway, it's going to go in that, and then and that sits on top of the wheelie cart. And then that's all I'm gonna, oh, and then I have this that I did that has like my stuff that I use for my art journaling. So I know I use my Posca pens. I know I use, like, I went through all my pens and I'm like, do I use it? Do I not use it? And if I didn't use it, then I threw it in a Ziploc bag and I got rid of it. So all my Montana, is that what these were called? Montana paint pens were all dried up except for the one big giant gray one that I had. All my Poscas still work. And then I got, like, I had stuff in here I never even opened, still in the plastic wrap. So I'm assuming that this stuff's still good. These I haven't checked yet. The white and the black Sharpie pens. These are those paint water-based paint pens. So I use my Bics. I've got like the Sharpie pen, some brush pens, another Sharpie pen, and then all my white, like my Signos. In the meantime, I found some brushes. Yay! Because I couldn't find them. So I ended up finding some in that bin, in that travel thing. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. So these are going to be my markers. I got my my graphite things in there. I've got those. Okay, so that's that. Then I got in my wheelie bag is going to go like, because so when I do this kind of thing, that's really all I end up using. When I do my Bible journaling and stuff, I use you have to be sedated before you can get rid of. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You're so funny. So anyway, I'm just kind of like narrowing things down to what how am I working right now? So I'm going to get rid of I told Darcy, I'm like, and I talked to JJ about it because I'm in a group chat with her, with another one of our artist friends. And so I told them, I'm like, I'm getting rid of everything. I said, if you know anybody who wants a big, my brother scan and cut, I got a silhouette that's like, I think still in the box and never even been used. I mean, of course it's being held hostage right now, but when I get all of that back, I've lived like almost 2 years without this stuff. I don't need it. I'm getting rid of all my, don't tell Tim Holtz, but I'm getting rid of all of my Tim Holtz stuff. Other than, I already sent my mom all the Tim Holtz big stamps, the pads. And I kept just the mini ones and then the re-inkers. So I can just refill those. Ann Brooke. Hello. Yes, that's her name. Thank you, Jude. I know. So anyway, because they live in Florida and I thought if they know anybody who wants that kind of stuff, I'm getting rid of my Vagabond, all my dies. Yeah, I just don't ever use that stuff anymore. So, oh my gosh, so I just don't. Everything I'm not using, I'm getting rid of. A lot of the reason why I had the Tim Holtz stuff was I really enjoyed taking his classes, and I loved taking classes with Paula, but Paula is not coming to Florida anymore, so I probably won't be taking a class with her again unless she comes down to Florida somewhere. So then it was more, I bought this stuff because he was doing those 12 tags online. Darcy and I were doing our 3D thing, so I was using a lot more of that when we were doing our 3D paper crafting, and I'm not doing any 3D paper crafting. So it's going. I don't do any of that build stuff. We were talking about that. She's not doing anything. And I told her, I'm like, literally, I don't even know if I can even do 3D crafting anymore. Like I don't even know how my brain was working back then. I was doing so much of it. And like I could look at something and then I would see it in 3D. I knew how to take it apart and then rebuild and then teach someone else how to do it. I was on a whole nother level. I don't even know how I did that. Because if you asked me to build some of the stuff I built back then, I could not recreate. I couldn't do it. So yeah, so all my Tim Holtz stuff is going. The only thing I'm going to keep, and then so my friend Yvette and JJ, Yvette types in, oh my gosh, talk Jonna down. You got to rethink this. And we're driving up, we're doing an intervention. You can't get rid of all this stuff. And I'm like, but if it can bless somebody else and gets it out of me looking at it and having to dig through it to get to something that I do want to use, it just helps me. It's getting rid of visual clutter. So I don't do well with visual clutter. I don't do well digging through to get to something else. I find I just won't work at all. And that's kind of what it's all about. I'm just having this kind of epiphany, and I've lived now almost 2 years, it'll be 2 years in July, away from my crafting stuff, other than when I was in Australia, I was working in a traveler notebook and I was doing some planning. So I had some stickers, I had digital downloads that I would cut out and from like Illustrated Faith, and I was just doing my daily devotions that way because I was so busy with school, the last thing I did. And now that I'm in the rebuilding process of my home, I'm like, I have to keep moving stuff from room to room because they'll work in one room and I have to pull it all out. And then when they're done working, I have to put it back in. And I'm so over going through everything. I am over moving stuff. And yeah, exactly. It does. It does. So, and I've always worked more vintage. I've always been into the vintage stuff. So I'm thinking why, and the reason why I was doing the scrapbooking thing for all those years was because I had kids that, I was scrapbooking, but all those books and all that stuff before I left for Australia, it all went to my kids. They got all of their things. I mean, they're all adults. They got all of everything I ever kept for them over the years. They got it, everything. And I have 2 scrapbooks that I kept with like kind of their growing up years, like just highlights of their lives and things for myself. And then so I don't have to scrapbook anymore. So yeah. And that's basically how I'm going to get rid of all that stuff. And Darcy had gotten rid of all her Tim Holtz stuff and gave it to Mom. So I'm going to go through all of my die cuts and whatever, because she makes cards. She's a big card maker. She loves making paper. That's so funny. I know, that's what was happening to me. So my girls, I was paying for a storage unit to house all their stuff. And then I'm like, when I left for Australia and I had to get rid of like everything because, I was trying to cut down on my expenses and stuff. I got rid of my storage unit, and then I had all the stuff that was left in there was theirs. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm not paying for a storage unit to store your stuff. You're on your own. You both have your own houses. So they got everything. And yeah, so I don't know what they did with all this stuff, but no, I'm in the US currently, but I am in a holding pattern to go back and finish college. I still have another year left to finish. And then, and I really want to go back as soon as I can. School starts, however, in July. And I don't know what my situation here is going to be come July, but I'm definitely going to head back and finish up college. I'm going to cinematography school over there. And as Dede calls it, a camera person, I was doing camera operating Oh, you're in New Zealand. Oh my gosh, I went to New Zealand I taught myself to drive on the other side of the road from America when I was in New Zealand so that I could drive in Australia, because I figured if I could learn in New Zealand where there weren't as many people around to hit, then I could drive when I got back to Australia. So yes. However, New Zealand driving, even though you're on the road by yourself most of the places, because there's not a whole lot of population, a lot of populated areas along the road, it's mainly like wineries. Well, where I was anyway, it was mainly wineries and ranches. And then, but the scary part was every time you want to get to the ocean, you have to go through the mountains. So, which is terrifying because the roads are like single lane and a half. And so now I'm on the wrong side of the road. You're going up all these steep hills and then back down these steep hills. And I'm in a little tiny like putt-putt car, right? So which that car was amazing. It got me everywhere I needed to go. I had no breakdowns. It was awesome. So I'm not complaining about my little putt-putt car, but anyway, and I just kind of, what I would do is I'd set out that day and I'd head north. So I would drive, I'd stop in little towns, get a coffee, talk with the locals. Like I'd take a picnic. One day I took a picnic lunch. I ended up and then I like Googled, I wanted to go to an alpaca farm. So I Googled, where's the alpaca farm near me? And I drove out to the alpaca farm. And then I'm like, oh wait, the ocean's right here. So then I went to this little sea village and I had the best time. So I was in New Zealand the first time in 97, and we did the North and the South Island. We spent a lot of time down in Queensland, then went over to Milford Sound. And we were supposed to go to Christchurch, but we ended up not because the winds were too strong. So that got, that we didn't do there. We spent more time down in Queenstown. Yeah. And so then I ended up, this time I wanted to go to Christchurch. So I had a break in college and it was very inexpensive to go there. I got a really inexpensive, cheap car. I got a cheap Airbnb, and then I just went by myself. And so because I was by myself, I thought I'm going to teach myself to drive because that way I can scream as much as I want and no one would hear me. And so I did, believe me, did a couple when I was going down some of those windy mountains and climbing up the windy mountains, and then the cliffs like right there. So your car is here and then there's like cliff. And so, and they don't have over there, they don't have rails. And then the rails that they do put up. Oh yeah. Okay. So I went to Tauranga and like there's no rails and you're just like, and then the rails they put up, like you could knock them over with your foot. So it's crazy. Oh, there are awesome craft retreats. I did not know that. So I did hit some thrift shops up though while I was there, and I got some really cool stuff. And so after Christchurch, then I had a friend come from the US and we went over and she wanted to go up to do the area. Oh my gosh, now I'm totally drawing a blank. The area that has, we were in the North Island and she wanted to do, it's on the left side where the caves are, the glowworm caves. And then I went, and then she wanted to see a friend because she had a friend that lived over there. So we went, what is the name of the town? Oh, I'm totally drawing a blank. Waramu? Is that where we were? No. Where are the glowworm caves that are over there? And then also I went to the little hobbit town, Hobbiton, that area. So we were in that area because she had a friend that was a student of hers years ago. And so she got together with her. And then I drove over to Hobbiton and did the whole movie set thing because she wasn't into that, but I was. I love Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit series. So I thought that would be really cool to see. So I did that. And yes. And then we went, and then so she came over and met me over where Hobbiton was. And from there, we drove over to the area where all the sulfur springs are. and we saw like that lake that is all sulfur, and the town smells like rotten eggs, but it was a cute little town. So we had fun, and we saw the sulfur springs, and then it was just neat to drive. And then we made the drive back through the, yes, that's it, Taupo. And yeah, so New Zealand's gorgeous. Like there is nowhere that you go to and it is just not, it's so gorgeous. It's like everything is green, and it's like Technicolor. It's like living in a Technicolor country. Rotorua, that's it. Smells like eggs. Yep, exactly, because of all sulfur. You held your breath. It kind of, you get used to it after you're there for a couple hours. You don't really notice it as much, but it was cool to see it. The lake was breathtaking along with the smelly egg smell. And so it was just neat to be able to say that we went there. And then we ended up going to another alpaca farm because she wanted to go to an alpaca farm. And then we bought a bunch of alpaca yarn things. So I got a beautiful throw blanket and some socks and things like that. Yeah, it's crazy how you do get used to it. But that was really cool. And then where else did we go while we were there? Then we went over to the West Coast. We drove down and saw, so the glowworm caves were really cool, but then we made our way over to, so we went to the glowworm caves, and then I thought we were running out of gas. This is the craziest story. So I thought we were running out of gas. And so we wanted to go to the coast to see, because there's like there was a waterfall we wanted to go to. We just Googled what was along. If we went to the glowworm caves, what was in that area? Because you're driving such a long distance. And then we wanted to go out and see that coast where the black sandy beaches are. And so we were driving after we left the glowworm caves, and we were heading over to the beaches. I look and I'm like, oh shoot. She was already freaking out anyway about the fact that I was driving. But even though I was a very safe and good driver at that point, because I'd driven in Australia and I'd gone up to the Black Mountains, and drove my sister all over the place when she came. So we went up to Brisbane and over to Newcastle, and then we went over and got a car when we went down to Melbourne. So I was already kind of driving everywhere already. I know I'm not crafting at all. I'm sorry. And so I ended up not telling her that we were running out of gas. So I'm looking and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't see gas. I don't see gas anywhere. Like there's nothing. We're like driving for miles and miles. And I'm like, I don't even know if I have enough gas to get back to the caves at this point, because there was something in the way of like the gas meter. No, they make erasers from that black sand. Oh my gosh. It's ash, right? I think it's created from the volcanic activity that goes under the ocean. No, it was called, I don't know if it's called 90 Mile Beach, but it was called, oh my gosh, this is horrible. I'm totally having like a blank. I need coffee. I'm just drawing a total blank. What is the name of that? I need my journal is what I need. Hold on. I'm getting my journal. I have it all. This is why I have journal. Hold on. Be right back. Okay, so this is the state of my journals currently. They're in these bags. So this one is, and I got these bags at Daiso when I was over there. This one is my trip to Tasmania. So I got Tasmanian journal. This one is when Darcy came, and I made us these. These. So this is how I tend to do this is how I tend to keep my memory keeping right now. Oh, they made dies from that. That's cool. Ticonderoga black pencils. Really? Okay, bye. Bye, Tori. Good night. So anyway, this was one that I made her when she came. This was us. And this is how I do memory keeping. Now I have to bind it. I haven't bound it yet. And I finally printed out the photos, so I've got to put my photos in. So that's what I'm saying. I have stuff I have to do. But I did keep a lot of my writing up about where we went and what we did. But I have to bind it. I haven't bound it. So we went to the Australian Zoo, and I'm totally on another tangent. I'm totally taking lots of tangents. And saw a dingo. This was the Australia Zoo, and baby koalas. And yeah, so we went up on the sky deck when we took a boat tour when we were in Melbourne. So those were all the photos from Melbourne. So because I came home and I printed out all of my photos, I need to now stick them in. So this was when Darcy came. I sent myself a postcard from the sky deck. You can go up there, and they have, thanks, Dede. They have stamps up at the top of the sky deck, and then they have a mailbox drop. So you can mail yourself a postcard from up on top of that. But anyway, we went and did that. And then these were from the Australian Zoo. Look at him. Look at this little wallaby, little chubby, fuzzy wallaby. So cute. So I just haven't bound it yet. And then at the Australian Zoo, I had a penny. And then my sister, she did hers, and it punched the hole there. And I ended up having to do my own hole punch. And now Oliver is whining. So anyway, I'm going to bind this, and I'm going to definitely finish this. But at least I have all my journaling and my dates done. So that's that one. Except now I'm looking, and I do not see the one. Now that I'm looking, I don't see my New Zealand one. Tasmania, maybe it's in here. Is this New Zealand? Not in here. No, I think this is all just my stuff I can use in the journals, like the stuff I bought at thrift stores there. Yep. So this is I tea dyed some stuff with some Australian tea. Some cards. I can pull those out. So I think Oliver might have to go out. Okay, Ollie. And then let me let him out real quick, and then I'll be right back. And then I have this one, which was Tasmania, and I went with 3 of my friends, and so I made all of us a journal. So each one of us got this, and then I taught them how to do it. None of them had done art journaling before, and so they loved it. So every night we'd come back to our Airbnb, and then we would work on our journals. So that was fun. We stayed in Hobart, and we just drove all over the place. And then I kept my maps are back there. So that is that one. See, I drank tea while I was there. This is a seashell I got. We went to the museum, and they gave us a sticker. And then, I don't know if you know this, but when you travel and you can go into the post office, and they will stamp your anything for you. They'll stamp your journals. So we went and did that. Let me let Oliver out real quick, and I'll be right back. Let me get rid of the glare for you. I got this at a little church bazaar. And then it was like a headband for a kid, so I'm using that as my journal cover. I got that in New Zealand. Be right back. Let me let him out. Okay, so I'm going to have to, I let him out in the back, but I'm going to have to go check on him in a little bit. I left the door open so you can come back in. So I don't know. Oh, shoot. I thought I had my, oh, yes, I packed them full. This was actually just made with like a mailer that I had. And then got a Tasmania sticker. This came off my luggage. This was a nightmare flying with Jetstar. Oh my gosh. Jetstar has like you can only take 7 kilograms, yeah, on kg on for hand luggage. So you can only pack a certain amount in underneath, which is like a small carry-on, rolly carry-on, right? Like one of the 21-inch. And then, but for hand luggage, including your coat, you have to weigh everything. Everything has to go on a scale, and it cannot be over 7 kg, or you have to pay for it to go on. So, oh my gosh. So we're there 4 women, and we have this one lady who has to take everything in the kitchen sink with her when she travels. So then she was trying to offload into stuff onto us. Well, I had like a little backpack, and I couldn't fit anything else into the backpack. So I'm taking her stuff out of her bag, shoving it in the pockets of my coat. We're all like shoving stuff everywhere, like trying to help her to get underweight, because they flagged her right away. And she had to pay extra for her carry-on, not her carry-on, but for the undercarriage, you know. So, because they only let you take on 7 kg. That includes like books or magazines or anything, your computer, your phone, like everything has to be 7 kg. And so, and if it doesn't, then you have to put it in your, you have to pay, and it has to go in the under thing, which is so crazy to me, because it's all going to the same place anyways. Like whether you have 7 or 8, and maybe your roll-on bag has to be under a certain amount of weight, it all has to go on anyway. So I didn't understand it, but anyway, yeah, that's how they are. That's how they roll. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't lose my girl. So I don't have my New Zealand one. It might still be in my suitcase. I haven't unpacked my suitcases totally yet, because I don't have anywhere to put anything. I have no furniture except for a bed and a table. Uh-oh, he's back. He came back in. He's mad at me because I'm in my craft room right now. Oh my goodness. This is like I told you, the bewitching hour. So I'm putting her on here so she looks like she's sitting in the flower. I need to find some kind of words to put on there. Dede sent me these really cool things, so I wanted to add them. Okay, Oliver. Come here. You want me to hold you while I talk? Come here, baby. Come here, you're the baby. Hold on, I gotta shut the door. I think if I hold him for a minute and I put him down, he'll be okay. So, say hi. Hi. Little nose. So, I didn't finish the story about running out of gas. So, we get all the way. There's no gas stations. We make it all the way to the beach. Now, she wanted to go somewhere else. Oh no, we saw the waterfall. We make it over to go to the beach and then we get to the beach and what is going on with my phone? So she wanted to go to the beach and then she wanted to go somewhere else. And then I had to fess up because I knew we were not going to make it. I'm thinking, I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, we came all the way to the beach. We have to go back the same way. And we did not see any gas stations. Nothing. Okay. So then we get out to the beach and now I'm like, oh shoot, I got to tell her. Okay. So I tell her. Now she's so mad at me. She's like, how can you let it go have no gas? And I was like, well, I kept thinking we'd find a gas station somewhere. So I didn't want to worry you if we were going to find a gas station. And I said, so we can't go anywhere else until we figure out where there's a gas station. Now we get out to this beach and there's not one stinking living person out there, which was awesome. It was low tide. We walked all the way out to this cliff, got great photos out at the cliff. And then, when we made our way back to the car, then I was like, okay, we have no gas. So she was freaking out. Now she's in like full panic mode, which I'm so thankful I didn't tell her because we had to drive 45 minutes practically on an empty tank. And what I was doing was, I remembered back in the recession, my dad went back in the 70s and I was a kid and he'd have to take us to school and there was no gas. Remember the gas? I don't know if any of you were alive back then, but there was a point where you couldn't get gas. And so it was like rationed. And so, our house was being built and we lived like 30 minutes away from school. And my parents didn't want to move us because they thought it was going to be temporary while our house was being built. So we would go down these hills. Every time he'd get to a hill, then he'd like coast all the way down instead of using the gas, right? And he made it like, I didn't know what was going on because I was only 10, but he made it like a game. Like we would see how far, okay, Dee, so you remember. So we would go like see how far we could go if you just coasted from like this one hill, how far we could get every time we had to do that hill, every day going to school. So I didn't know. But so anyway, so I remembered that. So every time we got to a hill, I would not hit the gas and I would just let it coast down the hill, right? And then like fortunately, we didn't have to run the air at all because it was a beautiful day. So I didn't have to like waste any kind of fuel running air conditioner or anything like that. But I was just like, all the way down to the beach, it was downhill pretty much. We didn't have a whole lot of uphill. So I was like very thankful. But I knew on the way back, if we went back the way we went, we would not see a gas station. And then we would have to go all the way back to the glowworm caves that were there was no gas, and that would have been uphill all the way back to the glowworm caves, right? Because we went downhill all the way to the beach. So I'm like, oh no, what are we gonna do? So we get in Google, and then there was gas, and it was only like about a half an hour away. So, and it was all along the flat. So we just kind of hugged the coastline. But I remember we ran into some people and we were like, did you see, are you coming from this way? Did you see a gas station anywhere? And they were like, no, there's nothing going that way. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So now my friend's like freaking out, right? Because she's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I'm like, okay, well, let's just drive this way and surely we'll find somebody. And if not, they must have gas. There's all kinds of farmers everywhere. So how are they running their tractors and stuff, right? They have to run on gas. So there has to be some kind of gas station. Well, anyway, make a long story short, we did make it to the gas station, but what was the funniest part was we had hit this bump and all of a sudden the thing that was in the way, and I think it was because she stuck something. Was it? Oh, I think it was the phone. I think it was where I had my phone leaning. I thought that whether the engine was running hot and cold was the gas pump. It was the gas can or whatever, the gas gauge. And it wasn't. It was the engine gauge. So I was thinking we were running on fumes. And we weren't. We still had a quarter of a tank. So I had to put up with her being mad at me for like an hour. And we were not running out of gas. We totally had a quarter of a tank left. So all that coasting, panicking, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? So I read the wrong gauge because in the US, the fuel gauge was where the engine gauge was in the New Zealand car. So yeah, so that was like, she didn't talk to me for 2 days after that. She was so mad at me. She's like, she still couldn't get over the fact that I didn't tell her that we were running out of gas. So anyway, we ended up, but in the meantime now, because we were driving around, we ended up finding a really cool gas station / ice cream, because their ice cream in New Zealand is by far like nowhere else you go in the world. It's the most creamiest, wonderfulest tasting ice cream ever. So we found this place that made homemade ice cream, and we stopped and we got ice cream, and then we made it back an awesome time, and we had a great adventure. But yeah, so that's my rabbit trail, and I'm holding Oliver so he's not whining anymore, and my phone is blowing up. I don't know why my phone is blowing up. Let's see. My phone is blowing up, and I'm so tired. It's not even reading my face. Hold on 1 second. What is going on? Okay. Anyway, it's blowing up. So nothing major. Yeah, not good for your waist. Oh my goodness. Yes, hokey pokey ice cream. Yes, ma'am. Except I get the hokey pokey ice cream, but I also love rum raisin. Oh, I'm a sucker for rum raisin and butter pecan. And I know some people hate those flavors, but those are two of my most favorite flavors on earth. I love those. And they actually happen to have rum raisin, so I was pretty excited. So that was my story of my one New Zealand story. I had one of many, but I love that country. I would live there in a heartbeat if I could. But I would have to become like some kind of farmer, maybe homestead girl. I have no idea. But because I don't even know what you would do for work over there. I mean, I know you have to have a trade in order to even come into your country. So, but yeah, I don't know. And there's never going to be, I was going to Hillsong College over in Australia. So I know there's never going to be a Hillsong College in New Zealand. And so that won't happen, unfortunately. I won't be able to go there like to finish up school or anything. But I'm going to come back because I love it. Your trade is being a homebody. Oh, you're a chef. Ooh, nice. Did you go to chef school or culinary school? Chef school, culinary school institute? Or you just have it from experience? Because I have a friend of mine who is a chef from experience, and she's a personal chef. So, see how quiet my dog is right now? For 23 years. Oh my goodness. Okay, question. I need to make bread and I have no yeast. And I tried making this Irish soda bread, and the Irish soda bread was hard as a rock. It was okay the first day I ate it when it was hot with the melted butter. It was fine. But I used Greek yogurt. The recipe I found was for Greek yogurt in it. And I'm wondering if it was the Greek yogurt that made it super hard. I do have buttermilk. I have some buttermilk. So I've got to find a bread recipe that I can make in my Ninja Foodie because I don't have an oven. So I have to make it in the Ninja Foodie. I'm all out of bread. I don't feel like bread is a good enough reason to go out in this. So, yeah. So if you have any good, recipes, come find me on Instagram. I'm the Preppy Crafty Girl on Instagram, and then give me a good recipe. I do have bread flour. See, I've got bread flour. I've got buttermilk. So I made biscuits today. I made biscuits. But I really am wanting bread because biscuits, like I have tuna fish. I'd like to have a tuna fish sandwich. And I just don't know if like tuna fish on a biscuit. And yeah, I don't know. Like biscuits for me are good with like jelly and butter, like, and for breakfast. Or, yeah, it's about the only time I eat a biscuit. So I have bread flour. I just don't know what to use instead of yeast because I cannot get yeast. I have a friend, she's going out still amongst everyone. And so I asked her to see if she would get me, you can make your own yeast from potato water, feed with flour and sugar. Okay, I don't have any potatoes, so, but that's interesting. I don't have any potatoes. But I'm wondering if I'm thought about making the Irish soda bread again and then trying to find the recipe that doesn't use the yogurt because I'm wondering if that changed it. So if anybody's out there has a recipe, doesn't use yeast and doesn't make bread that weighs 15 pounds, let me know because that would be really good. All right, I'm going to try to put Oliver down to see if I can finish up my pages. Okay, Ollie, go lay in your bed over there. You can do it. You can do it. You've already had your dinner. Go lay down. Let's just see how long this lasts. Okay. So this was my thought. I was going to use her. I wonder if I can send you some. Our code has lifted. You can't send some over in the US if you're in New Zealand. Oh, okay, hun. Bye, Dwede. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for all my fun collage stuff. I'm going to put her over here. I definitely want to finish this. And I want to put some kind of flower on top of her head. Is what I'm thinking. Maybe this one. So what I'm thinking is, so I've had her looking for yeast, but she hasn't found any either. I mean, it was like, kind of like how everybody was doing the toilet paper run. Everybody was going for the yeast, I guess. I don't know. But we still don't have any in the stores. Because I was in the store like 2 weeks ago and there still wasn't any. But I'm not going out for it. It's not worth it to do that. Me personally. So, and I think what's interesting is, what goes in what area. Because I have friends that live like 3 hours south from me, and they can get yeast, but they can't get any meat still. And my supermarket has meat, so I'm good there. I think that flower's too big for her head. And look at this one. That one's kind of cool. That might work. So, and I'm trying to eat up what's in my freezer because pretty soon hurricane season is going to be upon us, and you do not want a full freezer when hurricane season comes, that's for sure. You want like about 2 days worth of food in your freezer because then it'll thaw out. That gives you time to eat what's in your refrigerator, and then you can thaw out what's in the, and then the stuff that's in the freezer will be thawed out, and then you'll have 2 more days worth of food. So, yeah, you do not want to get caught in the middle. I think that's a better size of hurricane season. Oh, so maybe I'll do some coming from there. That would look pretty. And then up here on her head. Yeah. So look up Stay at Home Chef on YouTube later. Got it. I will. I better write it down because I won't remember. Hold on. I need a Post-it note. Oh, wait. I've got one that Dede gave me. Stay at Home Chef Irish Soda Bread. I am rocking baking in my Ninja Foodie though, let me tell you. I have made quite a few things. Oh, I made blueberry bread that is like so delicious. I did that in the Ninja Foodie, and I found the trick when you bake in the Ninja Foodie is that if you if you are baking in your foodie to put the water in there in the bottom of the in the lining, and then you put your what do you call that thing? The you have your lining, and then you have the rack. Then you put your rack in. So you got water, your rack, and then your baking pan, or if you're just going to cook on parchment paper. But that is the trick right there now, let me tell you. I'm thinking I need to kind of watercolor right there. Hold on, get my watercolors. So all my watercolors currently are in with my sketch stuff, which I told you I put in a rack. But I kept one set in here for just in case. I had this set that was gifted to me years ago and seriously not even used it. I swatched it. I don't even know what happened here. Why does that happen? I have no idea. I never dropped it. So not really sure. I need a spray bottle. Hold on one second. I need a spray bottle. Oh my goodness. I forgot I had used this for something else. This is my mini mister. No, I can't find my mini mister from Tim Holtz. It's somewhere. Okay. Then I need my... Ooh, I don't have a crock pot right at this moment. I just got a Ninja Foodie for Christmas, so that's why I can use my Ninja, because it's not, I don't have no water cup. That's not good. I'm just going to use this. It's fine. I just want to kind of add some blobbies, like some, I just want to add a little pink in here. So this was like a business envelope, and I just opened it up. I don't know if you can see that, what I'm working on. So I put the flap on the back side of the page. I glued it on there. And then, so that's the flap. And then I opened up the envelope, and then I put another flap. So on one of the flaps of the side flap of the envelope, I glued this onto it. So I have this flips up. When it flips down and I open it, I can see what was on the other side. So. Just want to, were you guys in on Dede's stream today? Oh my gosh. She makes that look so easy of melding two things together. Like, yeah, I was very impressed. Okay, so this is not going to move around like watercolor paper because it's not, it's an envelope, but I'm not going to, I just wanted to get the pink behind it to kind of make it blend a little bit in with that background. So, okay, my dog is back. I let him out for a minute. So I'm just gonna, okay. And then this was flour, so I don't need to, well, maybe I will do a little down there. That there, I'm gonna put this there like that. And then I wanna put this on her head. Like that. Thinking. I know, she was just like blending the mountains in and then making them reflect down, and it looked like the top part, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So if you're here for some of that action, you're not gonna get it from me. I literally am just having fun in this. Okay, so that's gonna be that. I just like taking images and gluing them down. I don't necessarily, yeah. Okay. So I have her. I'm gonna pull her out. I think I want to wait for this to dry a little bit before I go put that down. And then I'm going to tear her out. I think what I'm going to do is just use her. And then Dede sent me this big giant flower, and I'm thinking I'm going to have her and the big giant flower. She's amazing. So but getting back to what we were talking about, organizing everything, I'm so like seriously, I was seriously over moving everything, and I'm thinking I don't even use any of it anyway, and why do I want to take up space in my house for stuff I don't even use? So it's all going, except for what I can fit in that cart and in that little, which is amazing what fits in that long cart. I was shocked. I have two on the top part of the cart. Maybe I'll do a video of it. The top part of the cart. Woo, say that 10 times fast. I have two of those. They're like those craftsman tool things. So one of them has everything I need for my Bible journaling. The other one has everything I need for my sketching. And I have a couple of books on fashion illustration, so that's in there, and then a couple sketchbooks. And then on the bottom two, so that sits on the top, and then the bottom two are all of my like my Brad Pitt pens and my Neo colors, and just now I left my gelatos in here because I use my gelatos when I'm art journaling. So I do have those here. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I do her like that. Just like that. I'm kind of thinking I need to tear all that out and just have her. And that's what I'm going to do. But it's been like really freeing. So if you have a lot of stuff around you and you're finding that you're not doing any art anymore and you're spending more time organizing your stuff, which was me. I was spending most of my time organizing it, reorganizing it, and I just could not figure out a good way that made me want to use it. And then once I figured out where I do certain things and then come up with a mobile way of keeping it, or yeah, and just paring everything down to what I actually do, it's really been awesome. And I'm hoping that it works out. Okay, yes, I'm loving this. Okay, and then maybe I could put, okay. Oh, that's going over there anyway. Is this dry yet? Not yet. So let's glue her down first. So the homestay thing has been really cool because I have been able to watch like a lot. I don't know if you guys have been doing it too. Are you watching a lot of like everybody's doing craft room reveals? So funny. So everybody's like clearing out and cleaning out their craft rooms and doing craft room reveals. Because everybody's at home now, right? So you have the time. And everybody's out working in their gardens. And I know. Mary Beth, oh my gosh. So I'm getting rid of my two Roscog carts. I will not use them. I found that I was just storing stuff on them and not using them because they didn't house everything I needed. And then everything was stacked on top of everything and jammed in there. And I couldn't get in between the two things to get stuff out. So when I get those back from being held hostage, I'm going to definitely sell them because I won't use them. And I got that one from Michael's, the big long one, and it holds everything I need. And it's great. I don't have to stack anything. Everything fits. So that's been really cool. Me too. I have to be able to see everything. I can't dig. I'm not a digger. I already know that. I have to see everything. And I want to know what I have. So, okay. could make it look a little 3D if I shoved this underneath it. Huh? Let's see. Like that. And this one. So that's been the one good thing is I have, oh, it just went flying out of my hand. I don't know where it went. Okay. Okay, is this dry yet? No. So I kind of want to do simple there, I'm thinking. Just because I found that word. I don't know what other word I want to use. I need some other words. And I had a little box with all my words in it. And I've been using it. And I don't know what I did. It's so crazy. Because now the only thing I have in this room and where I do collage is my stuff that I use. Is the stuff when I'm making kits and I'm doing stuff for sale. And so I lost I had a little box and it has a camera on the top. I know what the box looks like. And I always had it right here right here. And I moved things because I was doing a photo shoot to upload some stuff into my Etsy shop. And now I have no clue what I did with that little box. And it has like my words all in there. And I already looked because I knew I was going to be working in that file folder thing. Then I thought, is it over here? It's not here. I don't know what I did with it. I don't see it anywhere. The room's not that big, and I don't have a lot of stuff in here, so. It's awful. Anyway. All right, so I'm just going to have to. Oh, wait. I've got rub-on letters. Maybe I can just make up my own words with rub-on letters. Let me see. I got these. Oh my gosh, these are older than the hills. Anybody have any of these? I don't even know if they still work. What do I got here? Simple Traditions. That would be a good one. Simple Traditions or Simple Memories. Remember simple memories. Remember this. Remember simple. I like how traditions goes across there. I'm definitely going to do that. All right. So here goes. I'm not saying that this is going to work, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. Ugh, I cannot stand popsicle sticks. Oh, but it's what I have. It's like, to me, popsicle sticks are like taking your fingernails across chalkboards for some people. I cannot stand a wooden popsicle stick. I don't like the feeling. I don't like when I'm rubbing it on something. But it's what I have because it was in that packet. Hey, these are working. Oh my gosh, how old are these things? Making memories. I don't even think they're around anymore. Let's see. Oh, does it say what year they are? Oh, they were made in Taiwan. I have a friend from Taiwan. She makes me boba tea when I'm in Australia. I love boba tea. Whoops. I slid that one. Okay, wait. That slid. I'm going to have to go back in with a white pen. This Traditions, it's reminding me of the song from Fiddler on the Roof. I'm having a Fiddler on the Roof moment. That once you get to know me, you're going to realize that things like will remind me of weird songs. Okay, I need a pen because I slid. So now that I have all my art pens organized, I have my Uniball Signos and the jelly pens and whatever that is. I have no idea. Let's see. Now, whether they work or not, I have no idea because, like I said, everything has been not used for almost 2 years. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it works. Hey, woo woo. All right, so I'm going to come in here and just fix it. Is my head in the way? No. Uh-oh. Whiny baby again. Okay. Maybe I should put like transitions. I don't know. I got to come up with another word, but I think I'm going to handwrite it up at the top. I'll come up with another word when it hits me. Okay. Then let's add this in down here. So I'm not hating this glue stick right now, just to tell you. Whew, it's hard to get the top off though. I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to head out, and I hope I didn't bore you with my stories. And anyone rewatching, feel free to fast forward. Not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. That's going on there. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll put the simple word up there. Okay, dude. This is the bewitching hour for him. Okay, honey. He can't hear me. He's deaf. He's old. He's half blind and he's deaf. So I feel really bad. Okay. Alrighty. So yay, got that finished up and kind of working on these. Put her on. I need to have some kind of words up there. I'll think of something. Find something. So that is working in my file folder. And I'm going to be working in this through April. I'm going to work on this spread. And what I'm thinking I'm going to end up doing is, okay, come here. He wants a treat. That's the problem. All right. I did this. I was messing around cleaning off my desk, and this stuff was on my desk. So I'm thinking I might put that as my background. And then, thank you. And then I had this thing, which I'm thinking put that on there. I'm going to cut that out. And then I have this girl that I really liked, so I'm going to use her. And then I have this card that says to hope or wait for, and I like how she's looking at her watch, drinking her coffee. So that's going to be my next page I work on. I pulled that stuff aside, and I may even like toss some of this green paper behind it. But like I said, I'm just working through one of my kits. And then what I'm thinking is I'm going to add, so this is going to be like my yellow. I'm going to somehow add this in, or it may be here as a flap. I don't know yet, but I'll get to that next time. So I'll be back with another page. So I'm kind of doing more like colors. I guess this would be considered like olivey green gray tone. And this is like my pink. I know I have to do this still under there, and I know I need to do that in there. I don't know what I'm going to do in there. Need to kind of dig through my kit. But that'll be my next segment. Will probably be this yellow section, since I found that and I'm kind of was feeling inspired. And I had my sewing machine out because I was making masks the other day. And so all these papers were sitting in a pile on my desk. And I just glued them all down, and then I stitched around it. So that was like a background. And yeah, so that's kind of where I am. Alrighty. Thanks for joining me. And I'll be back. I don't know when. I want to do this page in here too. See, this I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do this on my yellow themed page. I wonder if that would fit. Like, I just want to do the start living with. I wonder if that's going to fit. Oh, it will. Okay, so I'm going to put that in with my yellow theme spread, along with, I have these people. Okay, so I cut these people, before I go, I cut these people out because I want to make like pie dresses. So, and I wanted to find people that were like the right size for the pies. So I'm going to do pie dresses with them on something. And I also have these butterflies. So maybe do like a butterfly and a pie dress. I don't know. And then I had, oh, I can put this in because that's yellow. So I'll probably do a tip in with that. And then I have, oh, that's yellow. Pull that just in case. 1 minute. I'm digging through my pile. This was all the stuff that was in that kit. That's the stuff that Dede just sent me. No, what did I do with them? Oh, I know. I put the little stuff in. Put the little stuff in here. It might be in here. Oh yeah. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to, because I put these people in the kits all the time, and what I want to do in my next one is pie dresses. I know you should do pie dress people because you are a chef. So, but what I want to do is I wanted to show how I use these people. And if you have any of the, they came out of a yearbook. If you have any yearbook people and you want to play along, what you want to do is take your yearbook people and then try to find people in magazines that have the same size head. And then the same size, like, I don't know what. Oh, I think she's a pie person. And then the same. So if you find people with the same size head, then you can cut out. Like, I thought these glasses were really cool and they're going to fit on. And then I thought that hair would be kind of cool and they're going to fit. So I'm going to show you how we're going to dress up people. So find some yearbook people. If you have any of my kits, you probably have yearbook people in the kits. And then go through some magazines and start trying to find the same size heads of other people. And then we're going to play with those when I come back, and we will do pie dress girls, and I'll work on the yellow pages. How's that? All right. So have a great night and get some crafting done, some art done, some baking, something. Keep yourself occupied during this time. Stay positive, stay happy, stay crafting. It was great seeing you, Mary Beth. It was great meeting you, Jude, and reliving some of my New Zealand memories. That was a lot of fun. And I will see you guys again. Thanks. Bye.